Hello, Chelsea fans. Welcome back to the Pride FT. The FT stands for Football Thoughts. No Premier League football to react to, no Champions League football to react to, nothing to react to apart from a boatload of news, transfers, and the like. As ever, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, Clark. Clark, good evening.
Hello, how are we doing?
I've just had an ice lolly from
Nice.
a reputable supermarket chain. I'm feeling like summer vibes are here. As you can see, as ever, watchers, not listeners, but watchers, I am currently recording from the sun. I am sorry, I do apologize. I am thinking of ways to avoid that, but I don't know
Or a curtain, mate.
what to do. Yeah, well, that's what normal people say, but
You're not
anyway.
normal.
No, I'm not always, not always. Christ, so Chelsea Football Club, as I said just a second ago, nicely for us today, we have no football games to react to. No stress, no worry,
no disappointment,
no pain, no disappointment, no lack of goals, no massive injuries.
We've got something much worse.
We have got something much worse. It does seem like Chelsea Football Club is losing all of the parts that kind of made it.
It seems like everyone's jumping ship.
Exactly, definitely. Like rats jumping a drowning
like rats,
ship.
Mason Mount rat. What?
Yeah, maybe, apparently. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, this is our first show, isn't it? Without the season, without a game to react to, so we don't know how it's going to go. But bear with us. But there's a lot of news to talk about, as ever. News from across the continent. Big players are moving. Coming and going. Lots of transfer news for Chelsea as well. We're always hot on the transfer news, so lots to talk about in that regard. As ever, if you can, remember to leave us a comment, bad or nice.
Subscribe.
Subscribe will be good as well, and follow on any of the podcast apps, and rate on any of the podcast apps as well.
Yep.
It's all much appreciated. Let's jump into the club news then, of which most of it is, of course, transfer news, as we would expect. The first story we have today, Christopher Nkunku, the 25-year-old Frenchman who is currently still a player at RB Leipzig, made what you call maybe like a farewell post, specifically on his Instagram, which kind of adds more weight to the story that he's already agreed a deal to join Chelsea this summer. Apparently, This was done last December. All of the medicals have already been done, which I find strange because how do we know he hasn't picked up something serious, health-wise in between here and December? But it doesn't matter. Anyway, he's a fantastic player. He ended the season as the top scorer in the Bundesliga, or joint top scorer, I believe. Yeah. And very excited to have him in the squad. As it stands, no actual official confirmation by any of the clubs. Although RB Leipzig's sporting director said at the end of the season that he does expect to see him in London. So it's basically confirmed.
It's done.
It's done, but it's not confirmed. So it's like
Pochettino. It was done.
Yeah,
but,
true. It is like that. So expect to see that news drop imminently, which will be very exciting because he's a class player and definitely better than Havertz in that particular role.
Oh, definitely. Jesus
Which
Christ.
is nice.
Are you excited to see some goals?
Yeah, well, that's it, man. The guy bangs goals. And he creates a lot as well, and he links up well, and he's quick, and he shoots, and he's a good finisher, and he's a good dribbler, and he's got the lot basically.
A lot of confidence coming off of that last season.
Yeah, exactly, and bounced back really well off an injury as well, because he got a fairly substantial injury, I think, in like January or February, and was out for quite an amount of time, and then came back for like the last few games of the season for Leipzig, and was like one of their best players.
Oh, we love that.
We love to see someone with bounce back ability, similar to Badiou Shield when
he's
exactly. Yeah. When his leg popped off the other day, and he popped it back on like a Lego
Wolverine
character.
himself.
Exactly. So yeah, very excited to see Nkunku join. Seems like he had a good time at Leipzig. They gave him his opportunity to show what he could do because he used to be at PSG, and obviously he wasn't getting a chance there.
It's going to be very interesting to see what he can do in the Prem.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm buzzing. I feel like he really fits the mold nicely.
Do you think he's going to be, as good as like an impact as Haaland?
No, I think Haaland is a creature, a freak of nature. He's a cyborg, exactly. He's for any Warhammer 40k fans out there, he's a Mechanicus Adeptus, some next technology cultist cyborg freak, who is also Norwegian and
Are they normally
And
Norwegian?
it says, well, no, they're from Mars. They're from bloody Mars. So
is
quite far
Ireland,
away.
to be fair.
Yeah, probably. No, I don't think it'll have that big of an impact. I'm really, look, we're
I'm
Chelsea fans.
hoping. Right, let's just say this. How many goals are you expecting?
I'm expecting at least 10.
I'm expecting at least 15.
Yeah, okay. Well, the first number came in my head was 15
Okay,
because
we'll go,
he's very
yeah.
capable of getting there. In his last few seasons, he definitely has it in him. But I'm so nervous about anyone who comes into Chelsea to be an attacker. As an attacker,
the curse.
Especially anyone who comes in from Germany, the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Think about bloody Werner and Havertz, of course. So I'm nervous he won't cut the mustard. Having said that, he didn't develop in Germany. He developed in France. He was actually in the PSG academy. Exactly. So he's a techie bloke, big time.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of French Chelsea fans who are very excited to see him.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So moving on, we got a 16-year-old Ecuadorian midfielder, Kendry Paez, officially signs for Chelsea in a £17 million deal from. I can't even say that.
Independiente. I think. Bear with me. Independiente del Val.
Yeah,
they're Ecuadorian.
Yeah. He will join the club when he's 18 in 2025. So, yet again, another youngster on our books for the future, because how many have we got? 4 now, is that? Or 3?
I mean, we're hoarding, aren't we? We're hoarding big time. I mean, who else do we think of? We think of Andre Santos, the Brazilian lad, Andre Santos. We think of that Dijon Whisper guy. The Whisper, the Jamaican striker, who we randomly signed. We are
a big deal as well, to be fair.
Yeah, so we are hoarding lots of
we're hoarding like Schofield.
Exactly, just like Schofield.
I'm sorry.
I haven't seen much of him because God forbid, God knows I'm not watching Ecuadorian Premier League. Obviously,
why not, mate? Bit prejudiced.
I ain't got time for that, bro. Come on. But he I believe he is the youngest ever player for Independiente to start. He's the youngest ever scorer for them. He's broken loads of records over there. He's also just been called up to the under-20 side, I believe.
Nice.
Or the under-20. No. He's been called up to the national team. The main team.
The
Ecuadorian. Yeah, sorry, he has. Yeah, he has. So he is somebody of great pedigree. That's it. He was just playing in the under-20 World Cup for Ecuador as a 16-year-old and bossing it.
Good lad.
One of those players.
£17 million for a 16-year-old is mental, by the way.
Of course, I know it is. I know. I'm hoping though this is the guy that if you waited 5 years for him to join Brighton, for example, you would see him ball out in the Premier League, and then you'd have to pay 100 mil.
60, 70, 80.
Exactly. So I'm hoping that this is us getting better at picking them off before they go.
Is he an attacking midfielder or defending? Do we know?
I honestly don't really know too much about his kind of profile as a player.
Okay.
But that'll be something I'm sure we'll learn about as he kind of develops more. Because how can you even cement a role when you're that young? Surely you
can't. You surely can't.
Yeah, no. So
that being said, we get one in and one escapes us. Chelsea, we missed out on Manuel Ugarte from Sporting Lisbon after PSG came in last minute, stumped our efforts with a much higher offered salary from the Gulf State backed French club. How much did they actually offer? Do we know yet?
So word on the street is
word on the street
that the streets of Cheltenham, those crazy streets. The word on the street is that we offered him a €2 million salary, which was our initial offer. He was apparently more interested to come to the Premier League than going to France. We matched the transfer, the kind of what do you call
buyout clause?
The buyout clause was €62 million, I think,
which is mental,
which is very high for a player who is who is this kid? You know what I mean? He's
so young as well.
Yeah, the market is mad. So yeah, we matched that. The same with PSG, who also were willing to spend that much on him. But PSG apparently offered 5 mil base,
Right.
right?
Okay.
And then we bumped ours up to 3.5 mil
Oh,
euros.
right. Okay.
So kind of fighting back a bit, as it were. But then apparently PSG came in with a all right, F it,
10 mil, wasn't
10
it?
mil,
Yeah.
10 mil, boom. And obviously, money talks. We'll talk more about that later with different players and different clubs. But if you have that opportunity to make that kind of money in your first major move of your career.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it could. Yeah, saying that, right? I mean, it might not be his only high-profile move of his career. But to start off, I would want to go to the Prem. If a Prem club was offering me like a lesser wage, but you got the heritage and the whole thing around Premier League being the best league in the world, which it is. Why wouldn't you go there, even though it's for a 12th place Chelsea? But like we are going to get back into the Champions League. I do believe that, but why would you just go? Oh, we're like it's not even like sorry to us. It's a load of money. For these players, that is fuck all. That is nothing. I mean, he's going to earn 10 million every few months in the future. Doesn't matter, does it? So I don't know, man. I'm not too sure about that one. But obviously, I think was his manager a lot involved with this. I think his manager was a lot involved, and that's why he was happy to take PSG because he gets a bigger cut, doesn't he? So,
oh yeah, definitely, yeah. Agents, I'm guessing, will always be like, yeah, go to PSG, man. Yeah, good project. You get to play alongside Mbappe and all that shit. So I get it. They must be an interesting club to go to, but they feel to me like the club you go after the Premier League. Once you've been in the Premier League, and if you're like, I've had fun in the Premier League, I want to move on.
Yeah,
they'll pay you a
play
bomb.
some farmers.
But I get it. He's trying to take his opportunity. One interesting wrinkle about this story as well is that apparently Bowley and gang attempted to sweeten the deal a bit, almost by packaging in us or them trying to buy a minority stake of Sporting at the same time that they acquired Manuel Ugarte. So this is via The Athletic. PSG drafted a legal letter which they intended to send to Sporting CP after becoming sufficiently concerned by media reports of Chelsea discussing the possibility of not only acquiring Manuel Ugarte but also taking a minority stake in Sporting, which is quite funny. It seems like our ownership group are very keen to just do mad shit, which I do find quite funny.
I find it funny, but so what's it called? I don't know, nerve wracking at the same time because it seems like they don't even know what what's it called FFP was. So it's like all of us fans know what FFP is, even though I couldn't remember it just then. But we know what it is, financial fair play, and we know how that works. It seems like they've just come in and went 600 million. Yeah, we'll throw that. And now it's like, oh shit. And now they're doing this stuff. I've never heard of a team trying to sweeten a deal. And then obviously it's going to, if they're Sporting Lisbon are always in and around Champions League, so are we. So if you're going against each other, that is a clash of
conflict of interest, isn't it?
Yeah, conflict of interest. So it's like that. I mean, I would probably say the UEFA, that is probably an illegal thing in the UEFA terms. That the American owners have gone, oh yeah, we'll buy some of your club. Like, it makes no sense, honestly.
It's quite cavalier,
what a
isn't
shit
it?
deal as well. Like that's so American and so like a monopolization of football.
Yeah, it is quite weird. I mean, it seems to be like a big focus of the ownership group, Clear Lake Capital, that they want to get other smaller feeder clubs around Europe.
Yeah, they want this multi-club model.
The multi-club model, as a way to kind of get around like the loan restrictions and stuff like that, and buying and selling players. It's easy to get a visa for somebody to come play in Europe if they go to Portugal instead of coming to England.
Yeah,
because of Brexit and that, which fucked all it up for transfers, which is why Andre Santos can't play for us yet. So I get, I can see why they're trying to do it, but you're right, and again, this links in a lot with other things we'll talk about later on with different clubs from different regions and the kind of the moneyed interest in the game now. It is weird that that's not really it's not really how football works, is it? It's more,
it's never worked like that.
No, you don't. Having big networks of teams that are all kind of fighting for the same thing is quite weird, and
strange.
And if they come together
then there's no competition
to be in the same competition, it's you can. I mean, Sporting Lisbon got to what, like the round of 16 against Arsenal, or they knocked Arsenal out, I think, in the quarters or something like that. Imagine if we were in the Europa and they could feasibly get there as well.
Yeah.
So how the fuck does that work? I don't know, but clearly, I mean, Man City have done it, but I don't know if they actually own any European clubs.
That's the thing. They won't own anyone that's even remotely near our level, like their level, of like Champions League, Europa League, blah, blah, blah. So
they have ownership stakes in Man City, New York City, Melbourne City, Yokohama F. Marinos in Japan, Montevideo City Talk. Montevideo, I think, is in Uruguay. Girona, which is a Spanish club. Sichuan Jinhui. I don't know where they're from, but it looks Chinese. Yeah. Mumbai City FC, Lommel SK, Esperance Sportive Trois.
Let's stop there because it's going to go on for ages.
Bahia, and Club Bolivar. There we go.
It's a lot of countries, a lot of leagues that they're not going to touch.
Yeah.
None of them leagues are going to go against each other in certain capacities.
No.
So you haven't got no conflict of interest. Whereas we're like, oh yeah, another Champions League club, we'll buy into that. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
Is there anything else on that one?
No, I don't think so. I guess I don't know. I mean, I guess we might say, are you sad that we're not getting Agate? Are you that bothered?
No.
No. I mean, his stat line looks okay, but I've seen people who have actually watched him play and said that he's nothing really to write home about. Like, he's a half decent player, but he's not.
Yeah.
He's not the kind of guy you buy to replace somebody
that's great. Like, he
hasn't
got the pedigree yet either. So.
Who we will talk about now in this next story.
Yes. Heartbreak at Chelsea. Do you want to go with this because it's your favourite?
He's my guy. Where's my fucking statue at, Brave? Let me get this down.
There we
go. Had to do it. Had to show respect.
There he is. Now throw him in the bin.
N'Golo Conte set to leave Chelsea after huge offer from Saudi. Not the country, the place.
Well,
the vibe. N'Golo Conte to Al Ittihad. Here we go. Al Ittihad, a major club in the Saudi Pro League. Apparently medical tests are being completed in London as we speak. A 2-year deal with an option for a further season. I believe he's only 31, so that'll only take him to like 33, 34. €100 million per season salary.
Quite cheap.
Bruv. Figure includes image rights, commercial deals, and creative portfolio. I'm guessing they're saying, do you want a stake of some fucking hotel or something? Or some fucking property on one of their random man-made islands or something. That's coming via Fabrizio Romano, the Here We Go hero of football Twitter. Gosh.
€100 million a year.
Yeah.
A year. That's
per season
incredible.
Salary. I think that's £86 million a year.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, 86. Yeah.
I mean,
that's outrageous.
I don't know the math, the maths. But if I just divide 86 million by 12,
15.
That's 7.1 million pounds a month.
Oh yeah, it would be yeah.
So, bruh,
I mean, 86 million pound. That's mate. Wow, where are they getting this from?
It's the Gulf state. It's oil, isn't it? They're so rich.
You look at his salary. They've just got Benzema as well. The same team just got Benzema. Mm-hmm. How much is he on? £200 million per season.
Yep.
€200 million. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then you look at other teams like Al Hilal, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. How much is he on? Like what, $1 billion or something a year or something stupid?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and there's no tax at all. So who the hell's benefiting from like the government's not benefiting from this? But then again, the government is people that are paying them.
Yeah,
because they're all bloody.
Ronaldo, sorry, £177 million a year.
Jesus Christ!
At Al Nassr, for God's sake.
Al Nassr, that's the one.
Al Nassr, yeah. So yeah, I mean, obviously, the money is gross, and it's a lot for such a dead league, and we'll explain why it's a dead league later on because there's a story to talk about. I know we said that a lot already, but it's coming. Trust me.
I just want to mention. Sorry, I just want to mention. Do you know earlier when we was talking about the 10 million from PSG for Ugarte?
Yeah,
and you said money talks.
Yeah.
Now I thought Kante didn't care about money. I thought he drives around in a banged up Mini, 10-year-old Mini or something.
Yeah.
He sometimes cycles to Cobham. So it's like, what is this actually going to do? But then it's generational wealth, isn't it, really?
You're basically, I don't actually know if he has, I'm sure he does. I don't know if he has a family or whatever, but
definitely does. Yeah.
It's unbelievable amounts of money for him to go and have an easy time in a pretty shit in competitive league.
Yeah.
For the football purist, it's not a romantic move, is it? It's quite. No. It seems quite clinical, and it feels like
who's going to watch it?
No one. I mean, maybe a few more people will, but I promise you, not many people will. Like, I'm not going to start watching the Saudi league just because a 36-year-old Benzema is there, and 32-year-old crocked Kante is there, and
38-year-old
Ronaldo running around throwing a strop every game. That's not going to make me want to watch that shit league.
No. That's the thing. People support clubs, and I think they don't get this. People support clubs, and no one player is bigger than a club.
Yeah.
So we always say this. It's like, I love Mason Mount, right? If Mason Mount goes to Al Hilal or whatever, I'm never ever going to watch it. If he comes to Chelsea, yeah, of course, because I'm watching Chelsea. But it's like if he goes anywhere else, Man United, Liverpool, I'm not going to watch them because he's there.
Yeah,
it's not about that. It's about the team.
And I'm going to actively hope he doesn't do well because that's not how it works. Like, I want my team to do well. I don't really. I like players. I follow players' careers if I think they're interesting. But I only really ever do that because I'm like, I'd like to see you at Chelsea one day. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah. You're right. I get that as well. I'm guessing, there's a limit, and if you go over that limit, anyone's going to move, regardless of what they're supposed to be like.
Definitely. Money talks. Money is literally everything in this world, and it's taken over football so much now that it's just in abundance, really.
Yeah.
And it's just like the prices are phenomenal. Like we've literally just said, 62 million for someone who isn't even proved themselves in the Premier League, let alone they even had that much experience being so young.
I think about Enzo.
Ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
I guess what we can say about Enzo is that he did win the World Cup and was key to that World Cup winning squad with Argentina. So.
And he's come in the Prem and proved himself.
Yeah, true. He's been sick from day one. So not then on a financial sense, but maybe of a more philosophical or symbolic sense.
Yeah,
Kante leaving is very sad because as I suggested earlier, he is my favourite player in the squad, and he's been so good for us for so long.
Yeah,
and it's a shame that his Chelsea career has kind of fizzled out a bit, similar to Essien, where injuries caught up with him, and it led to him getting less and less time on the pitch, and we saw less of him, which is always a shame because I loved every time he played a game, especially in those big games. He always turned up and put in a shift.
Oh, definitely.
And he's and he is truly one of those players, unlike a Mason Mount. He is truly irreplaceable. Like
he really is.
You cannot get anyone on the market who will come anywhere near to what he does.
He's basically right. I've obviously we watch other Chelsea people as well. I agree with George Benson and Rory on this, right? On his day, not overall period, but on his day, he is the best midfielder we have ever seen. Ever. Period. Done. Like, there's no argument to that. You can't argue with that. On his day, if you put him on his best day against all these other greats, Essien and all them, like, he's pinnacle. Pinnacle. There's no one that can beat that. Like, but even teams around us, not even just us, knew that how good he was.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, 80%. What was it? The Earth's covered by 80% Kante. Like, that is, that was the running joke, but it was bloody true. It was true. That's the thing.
Yeah, and that run when we won the Champions League a couple of years ago, that run to the final, was some of peak Kante football.
Some of the best football I've ever seen.
Absolutely dominated Real Madrid.
Yeah.
He had a blinder against Man City in the final. He was unbelievable in that run in, and I look forward to the compilations and hopefully the documentaries that kind of look back at his career that we will see, I'm sure, when he retires at some point in the next few years. So it's a real shame that he goes, because he's a truly unique profile in the team, and
incredible.
And if you consider other rumors about other midfielders leaving, and obviously Jorginho also leaving, 3 senior midfielders now close to and or out the door, which in a squad building sense, you might think is quite alarming, and leaves us with a lot of work to do in the transfer window for the rest of the summer.
It does.
But good luck to N'Golo. He's a good lad, good chap. I've loved having him around. I will get a shirt with his name on to
commemorate it.
His impact on the club, and we'll miss him dearly, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's see though if this next fella can take his mantle. Brighton's Moises Caicedo. Chelsea apparently pushing hard to sign the Donny, with the Seagulls doing everything in their power to disrupt the deal. They've been right bastards, really, trying to get this done. Clearly they don't like us after we took their manager and half their bloody backroom staff, which, to be fair, makes sense.
Yep.
They are set to demand significantly more than 70 million for Moises Caicedo this summer. This is via Sam J. Dean on Twitter. They've also tried to use our interest in Caicedo as a kind of a make weight so that they can sign our very highly rated centre-back, young centre-back Levi Colwill, after he had a very successful loan spell with the club last season. And apparently they've already offered a kind of derisory £30 million bid, which is in this market is way too low for someone of his talent.
I'm sorry, but £70 million for Caicedo, and you're saying 30 mil for Colwill.
Exactly.
Are you fucking crazy?
Exactly. That's the joke. Apparently Brighton are preparing a record £40 million bid, or close to, for Levi Colwill. But Chelsea have no intention of selling him. That's via Fabrizio Romano. So it's a complicated situation, because it's not as simple as Brighton have a number and we have to match it. They seem like they want more out of us, which is frustrating, because it's not how it works.
How much have we given you in the last year?
You've had Billy Gilmore off us. He's a great player. You've had him. You've had £62 million for fucking Mark Cucurella, and they've already
and how much for Potter?
Yeah, true. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So
and all the backroom staff as well.
They're becoming very difficult to deal with recently, and it seems like because they've obviously had a really good season and they finished in Europe for the first time, they're almost like sick. They're almost like, no, you do what we want us to do. You do what you want you to do. It's like, no, bro.
You know we are.
Nah, bro. Like, you've had one standout season. We've had a very particularly poor season. This doesn't mean that you're the guy and we're the bumper class. That's not how this works. Like, I feel like they're getting a bit ahead of their station, if you ask me. It's a bit embarrassing, to be honest. A bit embarrassing.
Yeah, and they've gone into what European Europa, this year. It's like you're going to get rinsed there as well. So 70 mil. Are you having a bubble? No, bruv. No. Do you think he's worth 70?
It's very hard to say, isn't it? Like how long's a piece of string? He's definitely their best midfielder. He has had a very good season. I do like a lot of what I've seen of him. Again, I don't watch Brighton play week in, week out, but again, from people who I trust opinion on online and stuff like that, he's very highly rated amongst those kind of people. So would definitely be a good way to kind of patch up our midfield a bit. But he's still only 21. He's not like the experienced player who's been there,
definitely
done that, maybe won a few things, and is ready to like take the team to a
and
new level.
you got to think he looks good in a Brighton team.
Right, and so did Cucurella.
Exactly. And what happened to him? Fucking fuzzy head bastard.
Yeah, he had a shite season.
I don't think he's worth 70 mil. I think we should hold out. And if we give Colwill to them, is absolutely abysmal.
That's a that's a joke, by the way.
That's a joke.
I can, and it's annoying because I can see it happening. That will really fucking piss me off.
Yeah.
Because we've got other centre backs, but it doesn't matter if you've got other centre backs because do you know what? In football, sometimes the other centre backs are just better. So if Colwill's better than Badiashile or Fofana or Trevor Chalobah, then that's just what it is. And they have to load, or Silva, and they want to leave because they don't get played, and that is football, Like the best. Well, normally the best will play, unless
unless you got Lampard in charge.
Yeah, exactly.
So right, moving on. Chelsea are apparently highly interested in a new keeper. Well, we bloody need one, don't we? Yeah. Inter Milan's Andre Onana has been mentioned, and a €60 million bid for AC Milan's goalkeeper Mike Maignan has also been tabled.
He's French, so I think you don't pronounce it. Mike Maignan.
Honestly,
yeah.
Words.
I know.
Yeah,
French words.
Sorry, just 60 million for AC Milan's goalkeeper.
Yeah,
and they want 70 mil for Caicedo.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Mike Maignan is literally one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. The guy's class, bro. He's so good. He's had an unbelievable season. He did get injured, I think, for a fair amount of time, but
I like Onana as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, we'll see. Champions League final this Saturday, he'll be playing. Yeah. He'll be the starting goalkeeper, so we'll see how he gets on. But he's clearly been a key part of their success because
definitely
they're in a Champions League final for the first time since 2010, and he's only been there for I think this is his first season there. They signed him on the cheap from Ajax, I believe, because Ajax wanted to get rid. So wow. I'm enthused by these two. I would prefer Maignan. I think I always get both.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? I guess.
Get rid of Kepa, get rid of Mendy.
Yeah. I mean, it would be an upgrade on both keepers.
Yeah, fresh start.
But I just imagine both of them are going to want to be the guy. So.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I wonder if you try and get one and then have Slanina as the backup. But
yeah,
having said that, Slanina will probably want to play as well to develop. So it's hard. It's hard putting a squad together, as we have seen by our very mismatched and unequal squad. But good to know that Chelsea are looking at other goalkeeper options and aren't just resting on their laurels and accepting Kepa as the starting, because
it's good that we're looking at positions that we need.
Yeah, literally, basically, yeah.
And that's sort of like the simplest shit. But the thing is, we've got to mention it because in past seasons we haven't. And that's why we failed so hard.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because we didn't upgrade, we didn't change it about.
Yeah.
And then we got some shitty ass managers.
Yeah.
Anything more on that one?
No, not particularly. Just
no.
Yeah.
What's next?
So obviously, this is a very transfer heavy show, and I imagine most of them will be for the summer. I didn't want to go through all of them because, like, name by name and club by club and that kind of thing.
Because we're just going to list them out for you.
Yeah, because there are so many.
Quick fire.
But obviously, there are loads of players' names to be mentioned, and these are some that look like they could be leaving, and the most likely destinations based on reports. But none of the stuff we talked about today is actually verified by the club. Apart from the purchase of Kendry Payers, nothing has actually officially happened yet. But anyway, so I'll just go through a few of the names.
Quick fire transfers.
Kovacic to Man City, Havertz to Real Madrid. I put a lol in there because that makes me laugh. Pulisic to AC Milan. Mount, Man United. He was actually filmed, wasn't he, at the Spanish Grand Prix?
Yes,
he was being interviewed by with Chile B. It seemed like everyone in football was there over the weekend.
Felix was there as well.
And he was interviewed by the F1 correspondent, and some random dude was like, "Hey, he's going to Man United." And then he goes up to him and asks him, "So, are you going to Man United?" And then Mason Mount did the very professional, "No, I'm not really here to talk about that kind of thing."
Yeah.
They asked Chile as well. They caught him, and he said, "Well, he's my best mate, so I hope he doesn't go, but who knows?"
Oh,
so bit of a weird situation there. Mondi, apparently, AS Monaco are very keen.
Go ahead.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek to AC Milan
has already been done.
Well, you're very, very close to, but then
Yeah.
AC Milan sacked their technical director, Paolo Maldini, club legend, like very abruptly the other day. And apparently the Ruben Loftus-Cheek deal is kind of in the balance because there's no guarantee that the next guy is going to want to take him on.
Damn.
So that could be a spanner in the work for Loftus-Cheek. I'm sure he'll have other suitors across Europe. But yeah, these are just the kind of links that he's having. Aubameyang with just multiple clubs in the Saudi league. I can't imagine anywhere else that he'd kind of thrive, really.
Yeah.
So all of these players have been heavily linked with moves away from the club, and that's without mentioning people like, Ziyech, Conor Gallagher. There's loads of different players whose futures aren't certain.
Yeah.
So again, I didn't want to read out the full stories about him because
it's quite depressing at the same time, man.
It is.
All these players.
It's a lot of players.
Are just literally leaving, man, because we came 12th. Like, get over yourself. Fucking hell. Where's the loyalty these days, man?
Yeah,
honestly.
It's definitely...
Where's the Mark Nobles?
Like, you know what I mean? Definitely a lot of these players I'm happy to see leave, but I know what you mean.
But then some of them
very
are
much like... It is very much like, here's my opportunity. I'll dip because things have got a bit tough.
Yeah.
Rats. It's a bit... It's tough to take as a fan of the club because you want people to love your club and want to stay with you for as long as they can. But we've seen, a lot that just doesn't always happen in football, unfortunately.
No, money talks everywhere.
And not with Chelsea, and this is what happens when you have a historically bad season. People want to move on.
That's the quick fire transfers. Just one more, right? Just one more. Val want to go into depth. I just want a little, Neymar, right? Yeah. Apparently, Bowley is whatever that says by Brazilian. What does that even say?
He's enamoured by the Brazilian.
What? I've never seen that in my life. He's impressed by the Brazilian.
There we go. Yeah.
Bowley is currently in Saudi Arabia. Shock horror. Having been pictured with and meeting with Saudi Pro League owner Al Hilal. Of Al Hilal. Fucking hell. What do you think of that? Do you want Neymar? It's a tough one, bro.
I'm quite. I can't make my mind up. I mean, he is a generationally good, talented player.
Yeah,
one of the best players the world's ever seen. I think he gets a lot of stick, but his goal scoring, his touch, his movement, he's actually really good finisher as well.
Yeah,
he's not just a dribbler. Very impressive player. Has had a fantastic career, but has also spent the last 4 or 5 years at PSG just kind of phoning it in.
Yeah.
He's always getting injured around his sister's birthday.
He's very injury prone.
He is. And he's 31 as well now.
We have he's not proved in the Premier League at all.
No.
It's a different kettle of fish over here. We've just spent 80 million, 66 plus bonuses for Mudryk. So... What, do we just bench Mudryk even though he's on the fucking bench anyway?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Who do we get rid of? Because Pulisic's gone, obviously, but Neymar ain't going to want to sit on the bench for Mudryk.
Oh, God, no. God, no.
It's just like, but then again, Neymar, he's been around Messi his whole career, really.
Yeah.
And then you had Suarez in Barcelona with him. And then he moved to PSG. Messi's there again. And then you got Mbappe and a lot of other high-profile, big ego, big-headed people. So maybe if he comes to us, he's the main geezer. Maybe he'll thrive even more because he's the main head honcho.
Yeah.
But do you want him? I don't want him. I'm sorry. It's the same as Cristiano Ronaldo when that was offered 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't want him.
It definitely seems like a poison chalice kind of thing. He is undoubtedly he would be the best player in our squad by a long way. But you're right. There's so much baggage that comes with him. Number one, he'll have a massive contract. The kind of contract that no other kind of
terms. Things.
Yeah, no other new player at the club is kind of getting. So that's going to be disruptive, you imagine. Number two, as you said. He's never played Premier League football, and you don't know if somebody who's received so many injuries over his career, somebody who's taken so many knocks, if he can continue to take even harder knocks. And I do question his dedication to the sport and his game. In the long term of his career, it feels to me maybe that's being harsh.
It's such a cheap move. Not cheap as in money wise, but it's such a cheap move, like a cheap get out clause. For
like
Bowley.
No thought has to be put in. It's just like, oh yeah, it's like he's a good player. We'll get him.
And he'll be on every promotional poster in the world. And we'll just use him as an advert basically to come to our club. Neymar's here. That's literally what it'd be. It'd be a commodity, really, if anything. So, I don't want him.
No, okay.
I don't want him. But please tell us in the comments what you think. Who do you want in the team? Who do you want to go? Who do you want to stay? Do you want Neymar? Do you want Cristiano Ronaldo? Do you want Neymar? I mean, my opinion is no. I think Bo is in agreement. Let's keep Mudryk and keep it going. Now, moving on. We done a video. Don't know if you guys saw it. If you haven't, please check it out. We went through leaked and officially confirmed kits throughout the Premier League and other leagues. And then we covered our one, which we thought was absolutely incredible. And turns out it's a bit too good to be true, because we reacted to the home kit, which is a blue and gold, absolutely lovely kit. I would have bought one straight off the bat. And a new Chelsea home kit has been leaked. It's not official yet, but it's been leaked. And it looks similar to our Autoglass sponsored kit in the mid-90s. Everybody should know. If you're a Chelsea fan, you should actually. If you're a football fan, you should know that, because it is iconic. And Autoglass repair, Autoglass replace.
Exactly.
But no, I'm not a fan of it. I'm sorry. It's just. I get it. I do get it. And we'll show you on screen now if you are watching. I do get it, but why? Like, that other one looks so much better. Like, modern and everything, and this just looks, I don't know, man, like a cheap remake.
Sure. It's frustrating, as you said, that we put that video together and then the next day this drops. It's quite funny. I've never seen it before where like a kit has dropped or leaked and it's been pretty like, oh yeah, that looks like it will be the kit, and then there's another kit that also drops and leaks that could also be the kit. I mean, I put mid-90s in the notes. I quickly Googled it. It's actually from the 98 shirt is the one we're thinking of. The one with like the big white bits under the arms and the kind of yellow trim with the Autoglass in the middle. Also, by the way, Gavin from Autoglass, who was on the adverts. I interviewed him at university for. We did a magazine module, and it was incredible. And it was just a stupid magazine about like just shit banter. Basically, it was called Shanter Mag, and our cover star was Gavin from Autoglass. We found him on Twitter and got him to do an interview.
Wow.
I know, which is quite funny.
Incredible.
So,
I'll just... Sorry.
Windscreen repair places are available, probably. But I don't know any of them. But this new kit, or potential new kit, I don't hate it. It's so hard to say, but it's not as nice as the one we saw before.
So many thoughts going through my brain, and... It looks baggy on this t-shirt, on this picture.
Yeah, it does.
But it's not going to be baggy, and I think it looked better because it was baggy in the 90s.
Yeah,
I think it looked better because it did have a little bit of flow to it. But this is going to be skin tight. This is going to look horrendous. This is going to look like we've gone back in time. I don't like it. And is that like, I don't know if I can see that properly. Is that like an iridescent badge?
It is, iridescent. Yeah, iridescent badge and like,
No, I want the gold, bruv. I want the gold.
The gold.
Someone email Nike, for fuck's sake. Like, get your head out your ass and do it properly. What do you think? Well, you know what? We rated all the other kits. What are you rating that?
I mean, this one, I believe I gave the other one an 8, didn't I, or a 9?
I think it's a 9.
Yeah, I'll give this one like a 7.
It's like a 6 for me.
Based on the way I'm seeing it now.
Yeah.
I like the throwback, but it doesn't look as good as the other one did. I think the other one just looked way cleaner. The gold accent and the fact that it was like a 10-year anniversary of our
I love it.
That season, the 2012-2013 season. It made sense. It was nice. The jury's out on this one. It's going to have to be another one of those. See what it looks like on when it's on.
It's not for me.
In person.
Not for me. And I swear to God, if a video comes out of an official thing and they go all this retro shit and it's skin tight, and Oh no, not for me. Please tell us down below what you think of that kit, and please tell us if anything else happens, because it's just constantly changing. Apparently, leaked kits are no longer leaked officially anymore. Like it's all bloody rumors again.
Yeah.
But yeah, like let's hope that they don't change it. Fingers crossed. But yeah, we'll see what happens, eh? So, is that it for the club news?
Yes.
It is. It is. So, shall we move on to the women's?
Yes.
What's happening with the women, Bo?
So, there have been a few transfers. I think I did mention a couple last week, but it's more like kind of established player news. Obviously, we mentioned that Pernilla Harder and Magda Eriksson have both gone to Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Good luck to them in Germany. Maren Mjelde is staying at Chelsea, though. She signed a 1-year extension on a contract.
Very nice.
We also have Lauren James signing a new long-term deal to keep her at Chelsea until 2027.
Yes, sir.
So she's doing a Reece James. The Jameses are locked in. We have Millie Bright. Has been announced that she will captain the Lionesses at the Women's World Cup coming up this summer. Yves Perisset has been called up for the France World Cup squad.
Jeez.
Maika Hamano, a Japanese player who's on loan currently, Hammarby Fotboll, won the Svenska Cupen, and she scored the third goal in that final.
Easy claps.
And we kind of round it out by just reminding everyone that the GOAT, Sam Kerr, scored 29 goals in this past season.
That's why she's the GOAT.
Exactly. And deserves a lot of plaudits for a continuous good play. She's a sensational player. And
incredible.
I'm sure she will do bits at the World Cup with Australia.
Yes. New Zealand.
Australia.
New Zealand?
Yeah, she's Australian.
One of them.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Oh, don't say that. They won't be happy if you say that. The youth setup.
Youth. Go on Twitter.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sorry. I know I keep doing it to everyone, and I hope you don't hate me for it. But look, I'm
there's
busy.
so much.
There's so much. And I'm not only busy, but there's so much. There's so many players who've been on loan. So many youth players. I can't keep up with it all. Lots of international action. I mean, I know, like even today, Davide Datro Fofana's just scored and is playing for Ivory Coast against Panama in the Toulon tournament, whatever the hell that is. Wesley Fofana, by the way, is in the crowd to watch him play, which is quite cute.
Oh, nice.
So that's kudos to them. But yeah, so lots of international action of the youth players going on around the whole squad. People playing for Brazil, people playing for Ecuador, people playing for Ivory Coast, England.
It's all over the gaff.
It's all over the gaff. And I can't keep up with it, but some people can. As I always say, Chelsea Youth on Twitter tweets a lot about a lot of the youth stuff that goes on, and he's very knowledgeable. Or the Chelsea website often do little articles that kind of round up where different players are playing and what they're doing. So keep an eye on that. And if you're really interested, you will find what you want to find.
Yes. So that being said, let's move on to rival. What's rival? What's right? So, so I want to leave the big story at the top for the end. I think because So let's just start off with Jude Bellingham to Real Madrid in €100 million deal. Real has also released Benzema, Hazard, Asensio, and Mariano. So, a lot of players going there, just being released as well, no money. And Bellingham, is that actually official? Has he gone to Real Madrid?
Again, nothing's happened. No, none of the clubs have tweeted it or said anything on their websites. It's a typical, Romano jobby. The Here We Go merchant has said that it's basically happening. It's going to happen.
I think going. I know this is going to sound terrible, but I think going to Real Madrid is going to ruin his career.
Do you reckon?
I think so. I think going to the Premier League, any team in the Premier League, it would have more of a statement, more of an impact than going to La Liga, where it's basically a 2-horse race.
I guess it's just like you're guaranteed Champions League football and a club who can probably win it every season. It's quite an attractive thing. I'm seeing some of like the figures quoted here. 103 million euros fee plus bonuses. Add-ons can amount to 30% of the fixed amount. 30% of 100 million. What's that? 30 million. So it could rise up to like 130 million. So I'm not the best at maths. Agreement signed between the clubs. Jude, apparently they're signed until June 2029. So it's a 6-year contract.
Jeez.
He's only 19 though. So even if he sees out the whole contract, he's still only 25 by the time it ends, which is quite amazing that he's been around for so long. Exactly.
That's absolutely mental.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He would be at the end of his contract in his prime.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, maybe it is a good idea then.
Yeah.
And then come to the Prem when you're in your prime. That'd be ludicrous. That would.
Yeah, exactly.
Kane looks likely to leave Spurs. Finally, fucking hell, he's seen the light. With Real Madrid again, highly interested. He has 1 year left on his deal. Could still join a Premier League club, as he'll want to break Premier League all-time scorers record, which is currently held by the Geordie legend Alan Shearer, who scored 206 Premier League goals in his career. 260.
That was I missed
260 goals in his Premier League career. Do you think Kane would want to break that?
Now, yes, this is a mad thing. Number one, though, before we fully move on, I just want to say, as you said, Real have released Hazard.
Yeah.
And just obviously, just sad, isn't it? Because,
go on then, we'll have him.
Yeah. Because obviously he left us in 2019 to go to Hazard. It was his dream move. He wanted to play for Zidane. But he has had a really terrible time there. Injury blighted time at Real, and has only scored 7 goals, only played like 70-odd games. It's been quite a sad end to his career, and a lot of reports are suggesting that he may even just retire straight after this, which would be a shame because he's only 32. And he could still run it back.
Go on, Hazard, we'll take you back. Just sit on the bench when Mudrik's injured. Come on.
I wasn't going to ask that, but it is a potentially quite exciting option.
I'll take it.
But similar to the Kante thing,
just
got to shout him out and say, "Well done, on
legend."
If indeed you do hang up the boots, well done. But I'd like to see him maybe go back to I don't know, Belgium.
If he comes back, we can go for a pint anytime. It's fine.
No, that'd be nice. I'm sure he'd be all right, love. So anyway, sorry, Kane. Kane is a proper goal merchant, and he wants that goal record like a mother effer. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
He's record hungry. I'm gonna have to Google now how many Premier League goals he's got.
240 something, 46, 47?
He has 213.
13?
Yeah,
213. Way more than that.
No, 213 Premier League goals.
Oh wow.
So
he'd have to be in the Prem for a good 2 or 3 years yet to break that.
That's a 47 goal swing you'll have to make.
Yeah.
How old is he? There. He's only 29.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he's got that in him.
He'd piss it. He'd literally piss it.
Yeah.
He'd probably have to stay in England, for another 2 or 3 seasons. He scored 30 goals this season. If he does that again, it'll be 17 goals off.
Which is ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah,
where did Tottenham come and he scored 30 goals? That is ridiculous.
Yeah. They came beat and they were shit.
You know what? If he just leaves Tottenham, goes to Arsenal, or would you have him?
Yeah, definitely. Bloody hell. With Pochettino at the helm?
Yeah,
definitely, man. Run it back.
If anyone, top league clubs, Jesus Christ, like Liverpool, Man City, Man United, Arsenal, any top league, like he would smash it, absolutely smash it. I think Tottenham's like that middle point where, like, if you go to someone like Brighton or whatever, I don't think he'd do as well because there's not much of a delivery system in place for him. But I think top club. Do you think he's going to go to Real Madrid?
Based on what I know about him and his character, I can't see him go to Real Madrid. I can't imagine him moving country, having to learn a new language somewhat. I mean, Bale never did,
barely speak English.
Yeah, exactly. He can barely speak English. He doesn't seem like he's the sharpest tool in the shed.
No.
And I don't think he would deal with the culture change.
Can you imagine him sitting in his massive mansion villa thing, dipping bloody fucking PG tips and a digestive? Like, he's too British, bruv. He's too British.
Exactly. So I can't imagine it. It would. The thing is, though, Real would be his best bet at like kind of guaranteeing trophies, because as you said, a 2 club league really in many ways.
Like, he wouldn't be able to go to Man City. That's the thing, because Haaland. So
well, exactly. He missed his opportunity because that was on. He was on the cards. Yeah, exactly. If he's got 1 year left, maybe he rides it out of Tottenham and he has another 30-goal season, and then he'll assess his options. He'll be able to sign a pre-contract agreement in 6 months, and then he'll just see. If I don't know if. I guess it's really who has a good season. If Chelsea have a great season, he's like, all right, I can put my faith in them. If Man United have a great season, all right, Arsenal, whoever.
Yeah, I can see him going to anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, do you reckon? I don't know how. I don't know how loyal he is. I don't know how awkward it would be for him to move. Yeah, it'd be a bit mad, I
don't know.
But I mean, fuck it. I accept him with open arms. Bro, he's so good. You having a laugh, bro? Can you imagine imagine how good it'd be to have a proper striker? You having a laugh? I've said that quite a few times. I'd love it.
Would the striker curse hit him though?
No.
No?
Nah, he's too good. Nah, he's too good.
Proven. He's too
proven, man. He's too good.
So moving on, massive news, sort of just dropped, to be fair. Messi has gone to Inter Miami. Here we go. Messi will play in the MLS next season. No more chances for Barcelona, despite trying to make it happen. Now, the two GOATs are officially out of Europe. Mental. End
of an era.
I did not expect Messi to go to the USA.
Yeah. It seems apparently he had a mega offer from a Saudi club. Obviously, blah 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 blah. He turned that down. The dream would be to go back to Barcelona, but they literally can't afford to register. They can barely afford to register players, and I don't think there was a way that they would have been able to make it happen for him, like salary wise. Which again, if I were Messi, he's obviously already one of the richest athletes in the world. Why not just be like, bruv, just pay me like whatever. Let's make it work. I want to play for Barcelona again. I'll end my career here. That'd be lovely, but he doesn't want to do that, which is a shame.
To be honest, he was there that long. He shouldn't have left in the first place.
No, I know exactly. I know. Yeah, it'd be a bit. A bit of a shame.
Because he's ruined it because he was shit at PSG.
Yeah. Well, stats wise, he was all right, but they didn't win a Champions League with him, did they? So
no,
it didn't quite work out maybe the way they wanted it to. But no, apparently the Inter Miami thing is interesting because I think they're offering him like a part of the club for a start, a part of the franchise. They're offering apparently like Apple and Adidas are also putting money into like the deal to make it happen somehow.
Wow.
And which also maybe is stock related stuff. I don't know.
So American.
But it's quite a weird one. Inter Miami also like bottom of the league as well, which is quite funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's gonna rinse them.
Phil Neville was also their manager.
Oh no, he's just got fired.
Yeah, exactly. He has been fired, but I'm just saying, imagine Phil Neville trying to coach Messi. That'd be hilarious. They probably fired him because they knew Messi was coming in. They're like, we can't have this bum doing this. So
Messi's gonna rip that league apart.
In a way, it would be actually quite nice because I don't hate the MLS as much as I hate like the other kind of leagues. And although they offer like massive contracts to a lot of those like foreign stars who come to their leagues,
it's all washed up stars, isn't it?
It is washed up, and it's and they have caps on the amount of money that they can officially pay players contract-wise, and the amount of foreign players they have. They're called designated players. I think you can only have like 3 in your squad.
Oh wow!
So he would just make up one of those 3 in the Inter Miami squad. I think that's how it works.
He would be fucking nuts. He's gonna have to learn English though.
I'm sure. Yeah. True. Yeah. True. But there is a big Hispanic diaspora community in Miami, so you'll have loads of Spanish people to talk to, or loads of Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, and the rest.
I highly doubt he's going to be going out on the street trying to make friends, Bo. So I think
true.
I think he's all right there.
He's gonna have a mega mansion in Miami.
Oh yeah, definitely.
He's gonna live the good life.
Probably already has one, to be fair.
Do you know what? I actually think he does already.
Yeah. So just the other sort of transfer thing was Alexis. Is it Alexis?
Yeah, Alexis.
McAllister to Liverpool for 35 mil. Just wanted to mention this because that is an amazing bit of business. That is 35 mil for a player of his caliber is nuts.
Yeah, another player had a good season
in this economical climate.
Yeah,
he's
only 24. He's won a World Cup. He was very important for Argentina in that World Cup. 35 million is really good, but it does make you think, Brighton, bun your mum, because I heard stories about how McAllister was going to cost someone like 70, 80 million. What do you mean Liverpool getting for 35?
Yeah,
If that's the
and we
case,
got to pay
we'll have
70 mil for
Caicedo.
Caicedo.
Yeah, if that's the case, we'll have Caicedo for 35.
Also,
with bonus.
Brighton, you just got to this point. You're in Europa. Why are you selling all your players?
Well, that's their, it's their model, and I'm guessing they're thinking we've got scouts good enough to get other players, but it's risky. It's risky business.
Fucked.
It's risky business for sure.
There's a reason why you're in that position, and these players are the reason.
Yeah,
like it's not the club overall; it's these players. Like your Colwills, your Caicedos, and your McAllisters.
Yeah,
who the hell are you replacing? Like,
yeah, true.
You're Brighton. You have got no pull.
Well, good luck to them, little arseholes. I mean, good luck to them, bro. See how they get on.
Yeah,
hopefully we get Caicedo and they get battered.
I'm going to start watching them in the Europa. I can't wait.
Last story,
so yeah, I just wanted to leave this to the end because I think we got a lot to say about it, right? Now the Saudis obviously been absolutely buying everyone. So the Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund will take control of 4 of the kingdom's top football clubs, including Al Nazir, which has Cristiano Ronaldo, and as the government revives a plan to privatize several state-owned sports clubs. The Public Investment Fund, the PIF, will own 75% of Al Ittihad, Al Ahly, Al Nazir, Al Hilal. I'm the worst person to fucking chat this. The sports ministry said on Twitter on Monday, following a report by state news agency SPA, that Saudi Arabia will privatize several sports clubs from the fourth quarter. What the fuck is that league?
Yeah,
that's nuts.
But yeah, so obviously this is important because as we're seeing now a massive wave of Saudi interest in buying up all of some of the most talented players in Europe.
Yeah.
Every name you can think of is being linked to a Saudi club at this point.
Yeah.
I'm seeing flipping Wilfred Zaha, Heung-min's son. Obviously, Kante is going to Al Ittihad. Benzema, as we said before. It's a mad thing, bro. It reminds me of the China thing from a few years ago, as I said before. But just crazy. As we were saying earlier about the multi-club model, which is weird even when it's in different leagues in Europe because of the potential overlap. I don't understand how a league functions if 4 of the biggest clubs are all owned by the same
people.
By the same people.
So it doesn't matter who wins, doesn't matter who comes first, second, third, fourth, because you own all of them. So it doesn't matter. As long as one of them wins the league, you're fine. There's no competition.
Yeah.
There is no competition there. Like, they don't care. Like, I don't know, man. Who fights for their club over there? No one supports you, bruv. Like, you're trying to make something out of nothing. It's not going to work. You need heritage. You can't just... The only thing Saudi Arabia has got, and I'm sorry to say this, but it's not talent, right?
No.
The only thing you've got is money. And I get that you're using the only resource you've got, which is money, to make your league somewhat better. But as we said before and we previously stated, people don't just support players and go to where players are going. Like, watch teams where players are. You watch a team for the team. Like, if I supported Al Nazir and Cristiano Ronaldo fucking joined, I'll be over the moon.
Yeah.
Right? But if he leaves, I'm not going to be watching fucking into whoever, wherever he goes, or whatever. It makes no sense, honestly. And I think they've got it all the wrong way around.
Yeah.
Especially Bayern. I just want to make another another shit. What's it called? Oh my god, what am I trying to think of? Another shit saying from me. So you remember The Incredibles, the film?
Yeah.
Right? You remember the bad guy? Can't remember his name, but the ginger guy with the long hair and all that, right? And he said, and this always stuck with me, I don't know why, but it makes sense now. If everyone is super, then no one is. Right? So if you buy everyone, then the league is null and void. Like, if you know what I mean? It does. You know where I'm coming from there.
Yeah.
It's a shit saying, but It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, like they're saying that they're doing it because it will basically. They're saying that they're private. So basically, the clubs before were owned by the state, right? The Saudi
Yeah.
state, who are owned by like the royal family. The royal family, I think, have a control the PIF, the state investment fund, basically, which is interesting. So they're technically privatizing the clubs and putting them in the hands of other companies, but all of those companies are owned by, I believe, all of those companies are still owned by the PIF.
It makes
So
no sense.
it's privatizing, but not really. Apparently, it's a way that there's like better investment. They're saying that existing members of each club will be included in the 4 foundations, and the fund will work closely with the Ministry of Sport on the necessary regulatory procedures to complete club transfers to their new structures and newly found companies alongside new foundations. Apparently, they're looking to like use it to put more money into like grassroots level. It would raise league revenues from $120 million to $480 million, and an increase in its market value to 2.13 billion by 2030.
Yeah, the thing is, Bo, right? It's all well and good saying, to bring up like, grassroots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's stop buying the fucking players and buy some good coaches then.
Yeah.
Get your John Terrys out there. Get your whoever else out there.
I'm sure it won't be long, to be fair.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you want to invest in grassroots, you need to train them properly. You can't just be like, we're throwing money at you, please be talented. It doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? So if you're going to invest in anything, stop buying everyone under the sun at ridiculous prices with no tax, which is outrageous. And start getting these coaches, these world-class coaches and managers, world-class managers, and then you'll build a league. But again, it's going to take you I'm sorry, but all the money in the world, it's going to take you a good 50 years to get established.
Yeah.
Because like no one even heard of you until Ronaldo went there.
Yeah, true.
Like, I didn't even know that you existed.
No, it was weird. They were just randomly on like FIFA. They started being in FIFA like 5 years ago, and it's like, why? But I don't know. Well, I'm guessing that
money.
They paid to have them in, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
But like, none of the players were ever worth getting. They were
are FIFA even in charge of them?
I'm guessing they must. They'll be kind of controlling their area. I don't know what their particular region is called. I'm guessing it's Asia. Don't they play in Asia?
I don't know, but like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
anyway,
obviously there's no financial fair play there, is there really?
No, it's just going to be a dumping ground really for
it's a shit show.
Overpriced players. So
yeah,
it's a bit mad, but yeah, that story came from Al Jazeera. Look up, you can find it if you just type in Saudi owned 4 clubs. You can find loads of stories about it for more information. But just interesting to see what kind of league that these players are going into now and what it represents. And how, although I'm guessing those players are being told they're being brought in to increase competition, it seems like, these clubs.
You say that 2 of them went to the same bloody club, so
yeah, exactly. So
it's
all pretty weird. I'm guessing we'll keep an eye on it. Just like the boom with the Chinese clubs, I'm sure it will die down pretty quickly when they realise you can't just astroturf your way to like popularity.
No.
But we shall see in the long term.
It'll get a couple of eyes on it, but no one's going to be watching it religiously, are they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no.
So,
I doubt it.
I think that's it for this podcast this week. This news update, really, just a roundup of everything news-wise. What we're going to do, another video sort of halfway through the week, so probably on a Sunday, to update you all, because we're recording this on the Wednesday. So we'll update you on a Sunday, just a little video just to say like what's going on, then we'll go into more depth on the podcast the following week. So I think that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, chat shit, rate us, all that good stuff. And I've been Clark, my illustrious co-host has been Bo, and as always, up the chills.
Thanks for listening to The Pride. If you enjoyed what you heard, feel free to leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and maybe drop a like or follow on our YouTube, Twitter, TikTok and Instagram pages. And as always, up the chills.